If you have questions, you can just hit up the ask button or the get in touch button, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Uh huh. All right. So we have another question. There. How many years have you been an army? Army. I started being an army in early 2014. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 4 years now. So yeah, I started this blog because I became an army and XOL. So yeah, but I've been writing longer than that. I just started the K-pop fan fictions in 20 early 2014, and that really catapulted me to I call it Tumblr fame. But I don't really think I'm that famous on Tumblr, but I got a lot of readers from my fan fictions, so I was able to build a fan like a reader base. So it was a bit easier when I published my book last year because I already know that some of my readers are really going to buy my book. So I wasn't that scared in putting my work out there, since I know that there will be people who will buy my book. So yeah, so I have a lot to thank to BTS and EXO because their fans are the reason who made me more confident in my writing. They were the ones who told me that I can write, and then they also encouraged me to share my works more, since before I had Wattpad, but I don't update that much, and I often keep my stories locked up in a folder in my computer. So um, the army and the XOLs actually helped me become more confident in my writing and to be more bold in putting my stories out there. So yeah, and it's been a thrill being a fan because they're really great, and I'm so happy for all of the things that they're achieving right now in for billboards and their performance in the Western countries. Um, since I literally watched them grow, BTS. So seeing them achieving all these awards and all these recognition, I thought it was really well deserved, since they really worked hard for it, and they're such nice guys. Um, I don't know them personally, but um, you can feel it that the group is really solid. That they're not just like a show group, but they're actually real friends in real life. Um, last year, oh yeah, one of another moment, I can't believe I forgot this, another moment from last year, I was able to cover their concert, the Wings tour in Manila. So I was the one who wrote the article for BTS. um, it was published in Pulp magazine, which is the magazine of Pulp Live World, who actually organized the whole concert here in Manila. Uh, so yes. So if you're asking if I met BTS, no, I didn't meet BTS, but I was backstage. But my article focused more on the concert itself, so it was a coverage, and also the fans. So I got to interview a lot of the armies. Um, yeah, so it was a dream come true for me because they were a group that I really liked, and I guess the article came out really well, and I believe this is my thank you to BTS for helping me become the writer that I am today. So I'm not sure if they read the article or if they were given a copy, but I hope they did. And if they did read it, I hope they really liked it. Um, yeah, so next year I think they're gonna have they're starting this year for the Love Yourself tour, and then next year I think they're coming to Manila again, and of course I want to watch. But let's see what's going to happen next year. I'm sure the ticketing process will be like the Hunger Games again, so may the odds be in our favor. So I will let you guys know if I got a ticket. Yeah. All right. So I think this is the last question. All right. I really want to buy as much books as I want, but I'm just a broke college student. and I'm worried I may not like the book. And since I trust you a lot when it comes to books and stories, can you recommend any of the wonderful books you've read before? Yeah, buying books can be a little nerve-wracking at times because um, comparing it, oh, okay, this is my experience. Okay, comparing it to when I was in high school and I was buying books. Um, Books now are really much more expensive. For example, in pesos, it's usually a paperback is around 300, but now paperbacks are around 400 to 500, depending on the publisher or where, I guess, where it came from. So yeah, so books are really much more expensive. So what I do is, you guys, I'm sure a lot of you readers know Goodreads, Goodreads.com. So I have a Goodreads account, and that's where I keep track of the books that I've read. I also have the app on my phone because whenever I go to a bookstore and a book catches my eye or the blurb of a book catches my eye, I would immediately search it up on Goodreads and then look at the reviews. So most of the time the reviews are reliable, but sometimes um, they un- uh, they get to underestimate the book because there are times when I bought a book even if the reviews are not that good, but I actually really like the book. So I guess it's a matter of knowing what story you want to read. So if you want to read fantasy or if you want to read paranormal, and this book says that it's in that genre, and you can like browse through the first few pages. Um, if the writing is your style or if you're able to relate to the writing, then usually that for me that's a go for me. So I would definitely buy that book. But okay, since you asked for some recommendations, I'll recommend you the recent books that I've read, just like a few months or a few weeks ago, and also my all-time favorite. So let's start with the all-time favorite. Uh huh. So I have my books here. Uh huh. Right here. This is one of my ultimate favorite books. Yeah. So this is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief, which is the first book in Rick Riordan's series. So if you can see, this book is really old because I read it way back in high school, and look, the pages are already yellow. Yeah, you can see that it's yellow. And look at the spine. Yeah. Yeah, those are signs of a really good book. Because I think I read this twice or thrice, the whole series. There are 5 books in the series. So if you're not familiar with Percy Jackson, there's a movie starring Logan Lerman and Alexandra Daddario. But the movie is, well, the movie is great because I watched the movie first before reading the books. But after reading the books, I started hating the movie because they they really removed a lot of a lot of the plot and changed a lot of things. Like for example, Logan Lerman looked like a 16 or 17-year-old in the movie, but in reality, Percy is actually 12 in this, much like Harry in the Harry Potter series. So I wish they would have stuck with with the original plot that, and I thought it would have had the potential to be as big as the Harry Potter phenomenon. So yeah. So this book is basically about Percy, who is a demigod, son of Poseidon. So if you're into Greek mythology or you're into action and adventure, because Percy and his friends go on a quest in this, I would highly recommend reading this. It's a middle grade book, so so the language is pretty easy, and yeah, Uncle Rick is really funny. For me, he's really funny. I like his humor. I wish to write stories that have, funny dialogue and stuff, but I'm not sure if I'm that funny. So yeah, gotta learn from Uncle Rick. So yes, this series actually has a second series. Um, It's called Heroes of Olympus. It's another 5 books. I also finished that, and it's really great, but nothing beats the first series. So I would highly recommend this one. If you're into Egyptian mythology, though, Rick also has another series. It's a trilogy, The Kane Chronicles, and I read that as well, and it's really, really good. So um, I can I can assure you that you will enjoy this book. You will really enjoy these books, the series. So yeah. One of the recent ones I've read is this one. It's not mainstream. This is Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. Yeah, Cruel Beauty. Um, this book, I remember I wasn't planning on buying it. I was just looking at a bookstore. Usually at the mall when I don't really have plans or I'm not really doing anything important. I would just go to the bookstore um, and just let myself read through all the books. Um, yeah, and then I saw this one, and the cover is really eye catching because it's a staircase, and there's a girl, and then there's a rose. So, and then when I read the blurb, I got even more interested because it's actually a fairy tale retelling. This is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So, if you like Beauty and the Beast, you definitely have to read this. Um, but if you're not a fan, you should still read it because it's actually quite different. It is a retelling, but it's really original. I really like the plot and how it unfolded. The ending was really mind blowing. So I have a full review on my blog. I will put the link below. So yeah, Cruel Beauty, really good. I actually bought another book from Rosamund Hodge. It's called Crimson Bound, which is a um, retelling of the Little Red Riding Hood. So yeah, so far it was good, but I haven't gotten the time to finish it, so I can't tell you if it's a really good book. But this one, I really enjoyed this one. The writing is really nice. It's very, very poetic, and yeah, again, the plot really good. And there are two guys in this, two really cute guys. One is a bad boy, and one is the good boy. But well, I'll let you guys decide who you like. But yeah, this is really it's a really enjoyable read. So Cruel Beauty.